Good evening, America. We are here with Tuna, who is eating currently. Oh man, she must have been hungry. Yeah, she was hungry. Jeez. What is she eating today? She is eating one of these bad boys. But anyways, yeah, this is the first time we have Tuna just eating right from the start. Usually I introduce Tuna and then I open her can. But today she was very, very persistent about eating, so I decided to just let her eat right away. Because, you know, she's hungry, so she has to eat. She's a growing kitty. But anyways, while she eats, let me just take this time to thank Tuna for taking some time to be on the podcast with us. I know she's a very busy kitty. And yeah, let me address some issues that have been coming up as of late. You know, let me just make sure she's done eating. All right, I guess that was it. Shut. All right. Let me see. Does she want to get off the desk? I think she does. All right, let's go. Look at this Tuna. Let's see how long we can keep her here. A lot of people have been asking me about all these fucking books that I keep talking about. Mostly Freddie. Fucking Freddie's the only one that's really asked me about it. So I guess I'll start off with... I guess I'll start off with the whole book bullshit. With Freddie, I kind of started off with the discussion of BookTube. So I guess I'll start there. Give me a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Okay, where the fuck was I? I think I was talking about how Freddie brought up, or maybe I brought it up with him. I actually don't remember, but we were talking about books, and he had no idea what the fuck BookTube was. I believe he thought it was a porn site. So I had to explain to him that it's not a porn site. It's not a porn site, you perverts. It's basically YouTube, but just like a little niche community of people that like to fucking read books and talk about that shit on YouTube. I think that's the best way to describe it. If I'm wrong on that shit, I guess comment and let me know. But I'm pretty damn sure that's the best way to describe it. God damn, how's my hair? But anyways, I bring up BookTube because that's kind of what I've been like looking at for the past few weeks, probably. You know, trying to see what these motherfuckers do. You know, we are not a book channel. We're just a podcast channel, you know? So, you know, I'm trying to get some ideas of how these motherfuckers do their, I guess, videos, you know? I assume they plot it out, like they write that shit down. I don't really write shit down. Maybe I will. You know, every time I do that shit with Freddie, it turns out to be a pretty damn good episode. So, you know, it should also work out with these book videos. But, yes. BookTube is not a porn site. Now, I know some of you, like Freddie, were asking, why the fuck you reading? In short, just because fucking, I don't know, I'd rather be fucking reading than like doom scrolling and shit, you know, just fucking on my phone bullshitting. I started tracking the time of like, you know, when I start bullshitting on my phone and when I stop, and it just fucking, it bugged me a lot, you know, like, I was like, holy shit. Look at me just bullshitting my whole fucking day away. You know, I gotta fucking do something. And if that something is fucking read books, then yeah, fuck it. I'll do that shit. I'd rather read books than just fucking bullshit on like reels and shit, you know? So that's pretty much the main reason. Also, there's some fucking books that I've been meaning to read, you know? They look interesting. It's like the most generic fucking word to use for a book, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much the best way to put it. Some books just get my attention and I want to fucking read those shits. And some books I just want to fucking read them so I can say I read them, you know? Now, it's fucking what, May? It's already fucking May. So I'm sure some of you motherfuckers are asking, oh, what fucking books have you read? Well, I read a fucking few. I did do one fucking review that probably none of you fucking watched. I did it with Marcos, I believe. I forgot the name of the fucking book. What was it? It was Spirits of Nature? Spirits of the Wild? Something like that. It's on the thumbnail of one of my episodes. I'll be honest, that book was fucking disappointing. You know, I did not have a good time reading that fucking book. Do I regret reading the fucking book? No, no. Yeah, okay. A little. You know, I will admit, I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed by that fucking book. I expected more. But, you know, it's alright. That was the first book I killed this fucking year. And, you know, I already got a few more. I got a few more that I've killed this year. But, what other book have I fucking read? I'm here talking about books that I've fucking read. And oh, okay. I read fucking, as some of you may fucking have heard, I read Rick Ross's book, which I also don't remember the title of. Fuck. Damn. I gotta give these booktubers more credit. Fuck. I think it's The Perfect Day to Boss Up. I think that was the name of the fucking book. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like his latest book that he's written. You know, I know he's written a few. But yeah, I think I spoke about it with Freddie for like just a brief minute or two. Freddie commented saying that it was like the most generic self-help advice rehashed in like Rick Ross's voice and shit. Which I agree. I completely agree to a degree. Because if you really think about it, if you read the fucking book, I think you would find it under the category of like self-help or like self-help, self-development, whatever. You know, that bullshit genre. I really can't think of anything that was supposed to help me when it was literally the most generic shit, which is why I guess you would put it in that genre. There's only one thing that he said that really stood out to me in that book. And because of that, I just felt the book was worth it. But the thing is, everyone said what he said. But for some reason, Rick Ross, you know, he used his fucking own voice. I'm trying to use these fucking terms that my English teacher used to throw out back in the day and shit. Rick Ross put it in a way that just kind of fucking, you know, really made sense to me. That really made me reflect, like, damn. That's some real shit. All right, I gotta do that. You know, let me fucking crack open a notebook, grab my pen, and actually put this shit on paper. You know, I'm trying to think if he fucking said that. Actually, if he like said to write it down on paper. I don't remember if he fucking said that. But you know me, I always write down shit on notebook and paper and shit. So yeah, he said something about analyzing your losses. Obviously, you know, it's just rehashed it's just a Rick Ross way of saying, like, take a look at what you fucked up on, your mistakes. What went wrong? You know, did you get an F? Did you fucking fail out of college? You know, what happened? Did you get fired? Why'd you get fired? Why'd you flunk that test? Why'd you get kicked out of college? You know, but for some reason, the way Rick Ross put it just really stood out to me. And again, really made me fucking whip out the fucking notebook and just start writing, you know? What else have I fucking read? Oh, wait, hang on. Let me talk about this fucking book. So, yeah, it's supposed to be a self-help book, right? But I don't know. I just don't fucking... I feel like this book was mostly just Rick Ross talking about how he spent his time during the fucking lockdown, you know, during the COVID shit, you know? That's pretty much what it was, you know? I was like, God damn, bro, when are you gonna start dropping, like, I don't know, like, this is what you gotta do if you want to fucking start making millions like me. He never did that. He fucking talked more about his fucking his process of doing his fucking yard work than he did fucking making money. I could be wrong. It's been like 2-3 weeks since I read the book, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he spent more time talking about his fucking lawn care than anything like that. But still, I'm glad I read it. I really like that. The whole Rick Ross way of saying, take a look at your mistakes and learn from them. There's also like at the last portion of the book, you know, talks about how he met up with Kanye, and that was pretty funny. It did sound like Kanye. But anyways, what fucking book am I gonna read now? Can't even fucking see that shit. How to Be a Good Creature by Cy Montgomery. Now, what the fuck is it about? I assume it's about fucking, you know, how to be a good creature. You know, I think like the fucking summary says some shit like, you know, Cy Montgomery tells us about 13 animals that, you know, gave her perspective on life and meaning or something like that. I like animals. I don't know if you motherfuckers know that. You know, I love all animals. I'm just quite partial to cats, like my Tuna, especially Tuna. I'm all right with nature. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with nature. So combine the two, animals, nature, they're almost like, you know, almost fucking what's the expression? Fuck. Two sides of the same coin? I don't know. Shit. They're almost exclusively, I don't even know what I'm fucking saying. You would think of one and the other usually, right? You think of a fucking tiger, you don't think of a tiger in like at a fucking mall, you know? You think of a tiger in the fucking jungle? I think. Where the fuck do tigers live? Shit. But anyways, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, fuck. Let me read about animals. Let me read about nature. Because that's the thing that I've noticed with BookTube. BookTube seems to just is like dominated by, you know, like young women that love reading that fucking fantasy romance genre. Nothing wrong with that. But that's not me. You know, I don't want to read that bullshit. The fuck? I'd rather read How to Be a Good Creature, you know? Because I like animals. I like nature. I fuck with both, you know? I'm a firm believer in space for all species. That's an LRG shirt, everybody. But yeah, fucking the font does not look that big. I could probably finish this book today if I just fucking did nothing. But I actually got to go meet up with Freddie later. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna fucking finish this book and I'll put out a fucking review. Hopefully TikTok actually, you know, pushes it out there, you know. Hopefully YouTube pushes it out there too. Because of Van Dyke, we did get fucking age restricted because that motherfucker's a drug addict. But yeah, hey, we're coming back. So TikTok, YouTube Shorts, watch out because we're fucking reading books now. Hope you guys like my sweater too. Now let me go get Tuna so we could fucking conclude this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back with Tuna. And I'm pretty sure Tuna wants me to conclude this episode already so she could go take a nap or something. You guys saw her. She was eating real good. So I'm just going to conclude this episode. We will have Michael coming on the podcast pretty soon. He's dropping out of CSUN, I think, like in 2 weeks or something. Then I believe Freddie is going to be available on weekends now. So yeah, stick around for that. Tuna has a very busy schedule, but you know, she'll make time for the podcast. And with that, we'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning into this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing Tuna. And we'll catch you in the next episode.